Hey everyone, Potraj here with a video which is this time is a tournament game, which was a tournament team tour rather, with the name of which is CAP Premier League. So yeah, basically CAP was created Pokemon project, which is a thing of Smorgon where you use community-made Pokemons and play with it in a OU-based metagame. So this is the Premier League, and I am playing for the Weatherman Whimsicots. I started week 2. This is week 2. I didn't play week 1. So I started week 2, and my friend the number man made this team for me to use against my opponent Pitmo. So yeah, on preview I thought that okay, my specs Dragapult was really good in this game, because if Clef was chipped even a little, the Dragapult 2-hit KO it, 2-hit KOs it. It cannot switch in at all. So that was a win con going into this game. I thought if my Dragapult, if I can make it so my Dragapult clicks buttons with Shadow Ball, it just wins. So that was my win con. Apart from that, I had SD, Scale Shot, Garchomp, a Spidef, Floating Galar, a defensive Argonaut, which is Cap Pokemon, a mixed Clefable, and a defensive, or rather mixed Corviknight. So turn 1, I lead with my Clefable. It guaranteed, it had good matchup against everything apart from Katana, but I didn't think he would lead Katana here. So I go with my Clef, and I knock off turn 1 on the expected switch side. After that, I had my rocks, I teleported. Then I went to Katana. Now, here I didn't know what Katana set it was, and the switch side was up as well. So my best play here was to just Corviknight, because Corviknight lived any one hit easily. If he went for Secret Sword, it was like 40%, banned 40%. If it was knockoff, again 40-ish% with banned. And the pitch side, which was going to come the next turn, would still do about 20% to me. So I go into my Corviknight here, as he knocks me off, I believe. Yeah, and reveals to be Life Orb, I think. Yeah, pitch side does not do little. So here I had a free roost, so I went for it as he went into Astrolot. Now Astrolot, I don't know how to pronounce it, but this bottom is another Cap Mon, and this Mon I believe gets spikes. So I knew he would go for spike here instead of a fire move. So I U-turned here, expecting the spikes, and I believe I go into my Argonaut here. Yeah. Now Argonaut is a can-run technician or unaware, but it is best used as unaware Pokemon, a defensive or speed-def unaware Pokemon, and it gets spikes as well. So I set up my own spikes here as he goes to Clefable. I can knock first. Yeah, I knocked first because I wanted to remove the boots from Astrolot, but again, knock was free. So now Clefable getting knocked was really good, because now it cannot get passive recovery after switching into a Shadow Ball from Dragapult. So it was, I believe it was good for me that he knocked off, but I didn't think my opponent would let me knock it off because of the Shadow Ball problem that he faced with my Dragapult. So yeah, here I think I switch out into my Floating Galar, as I believe rocks up. Yeah, and now I switch side on the Slowking. Oh, okay, yeah. I Sludge Bomb first in case he would be brazy and try to knock off my Assault Vest and try to damage it for my Dragapult. But he didn't do that. He went into Slowking. Here now I switch side. I switch side himself, and I go for Sludge Bomb, fishing for a poison, which I think I do get. Yeah. As he teleports out into his Katana. Again, I had a switch in Corviknight here, but the reason I didn't go to Corviknight is because of me expecting. I believe I expected not this. I believe I expected something. I'm forgetting now, but I believe I expected this Mon itself. I did a Clefable. Didn't take much from the switch side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The reason I predicted it to him to go into is the switch side. Yeah, because only Astral could take a switch side here, and Katana would die more or less like a lot to die. Tomahawk is part fighting, so it will do a bit of damage as well. Clefable would take a hit again, which is good for Dragapult, and his own Dragapult does not want to take some random side damage. So I went to Clefable on the Predator into Astronaut as the Fire Lashes. Now I knocked off there. Now here, I think turn 12 the play should have been to first Soft Boil, because his Dragapult, like my own, is a problem for me, and with spikes up, it can just do a lot of damage to my Pokemon. So here, I believe I should have Soft Boil first. That was a misplay before knocking off later on, because this Pokemon cannot do much. It can do Fire Lash, Recover, Spikes, and a random fourth move, which is usually not something that can damage Clefable. So Soft Boil was a play here. I go Argonaut on the Fire Lash, and I believe I have Spike up here this time as it goes to Tomahawk. Excuse me. Now here he Yapet spins. Now Tomahawk can be either Intimidate, Prankster, Justify. Now all three abilities are very good on it. Intimidate lets it become a defensive wall to any first team, and with Prankster, it can haze any status changes that happen. If you are Shell Smashed, Prankster haze and all your boosters are on. So yeah. Now this next turn, I had a brain freeze. I don't know why I stayed in. I know what I was thinking at the time, but I stayed in on a flying moth. So basically, what happened was he hurricaned me. After I knocked him off, he hurricanes here. Now here I had a free switching into my Slowking Ground, and for some reason I don't know why I just stayed in and Argonaut died. Now, this was extremely bad because Argonaut was my backup backup switching to this Dragapult. Now without it, Dragapult just clicked buttons very easily, and with Clefable down low, it was worse. So this was very bad for me. Here then I go to Covenant to default my own this hazards away, as I believe went into his Astronaut again. Here I think I hard into my Dragapult, yeah, on the spikes. So now I wanted to take some sort of initiative. I thought that okay, let's try and do some damage to the whole team with Mount Shadow Balls. But I think I switch out here. Or Shadow Ball. I Shadow Ball here. So because what was happening in my mind at the time was I didn't know what Astronaut runs. It was part Dragon, and it could have ran some Dragon move to bop my Dragapult. But I went for Shadow Ball here because from what I've seen of Astronaut, it never runs a Dragon type move. So I just went for it, and he went to his Clefable, which was his only check, and with no leftover recovery, it dived to the next Shadow Ball, and now we are 5-5. He does Astronaut again. Now, the reason again, I thought that okay, why did he go into the Astronaut this time and not why he switched out before? Because I think before he switched, thinking I would Retro Meteor, which I did not. I Shadow Ball. So now he went into Astronaut. I thought okay, he'll leave Shadow Ball easily. He might have Dragon move as his fourth, and he might go for it now. That's why I went into my Slowking. But he stopped in Tantrum, which again made me question what set it was. It had to be recovered last, but I was not sure what could run. So because it had regen as well, so it might not need recover. That's why I went to my Slowking first. It competed in 38, good damage, but I could stay in here, and I believe I switched side this time to check something here. Yeah, and now I go to my Guard Chomp on the Fire Lash. It takes nothing, and I believe I SD here the next turn as it goes into his Tomahawk. Okay, sorry. One moment. I go Guard Chomp. I SD here, right? No, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I went into this guy to remove the hazards first but because I thought that he would go into his Dragapult there. So yeah. And which side was also coming out, so that was another thing I didn't worry about. Now default here. I trade ports into Astronaut. Now I go into my own Garchomp. And this was free SD here. Right, so now I knew here that he would go for a haze. Now this was another misplay on my end. Now, because I knew he would go for haze, I should have just gone to my Clefable and healed up. When Clefable healed up, Dragapult is no longer a big issue for me. If I did that, I would have been in easier position, but I did not. I, for some reason, went for the skill shot again. Again, bad play. Very bad play. And I think it's defensive, so it did nothing to this Tomahawk. Now I do Slowking, as I believe he roosts. Again, I should have gone Clefable earlier, very earlier, because if Clefable was so boiled up, it was easier for me to deal with other Pokemon. Because with Clefable dealing with Dragapult, my own Dragapult can just click buttons very easily. Here I switch side, as it goes hard Dragapult. Now here I took a lot of time to think about what my play should be. Because he was Shadow Ball for sure. It's only a matter of what should I go into. Now the reason I went into Garchomp was because it took it was 2-hit KO from Shadow Ball, from timid Shadow Ball after spike damage. But as when it is 65 to my 66 to my Garchomp, I realized it was modest. Now it being modest was really good for me, and honestly modest is not that great right now because it's speed type with Weavile, it's slower than Tapu Koko, so I don't think it's that good. Sure, it does damage, but I mean, I guess you think that with spike stack it's strong to clean late game, but still it against opposing Dragapult you lose speed tie very easily, and that's not great in my opinion. So I wanted to now keep Garchomp for later to maybe check fast shot. So I sat my Clefable. Clefable did nothing anymore in this game because it was very low. I would have very tough time trying to bring it again. So I sat my Clefable here, and as the feature came out, did a lot. And now I go into my timid Dragapult to pick up a kill, which I do. Now again, I was not sure what this shit is running. I was very scared of it, but I still went with Shadow Ball this time because he would have went for Dynamo move if he had it at this point. I was sure that he did not have a Dragon move, and now I think I was in a very good position to win. With Dragapult, clicking Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball twice to kill it. Now he went to Slowking here, but I crit the Slowking here, but I don't think it mattered in the late game because if he switch sighted here in this turn, or even stalled it, I still pick up a kill. And after Slowking dies, he cannot break overnight plus Slowking. So even if he tried, that don't matter as much. Now here, I calculated a zero special attack Tomahawk Hurricane did 63 max. Sorry, 63.9 or something. No, it was 64. It was 64. 64 was the max roll that I had gotten. And I Shadow Balled here because I knew he would live, and he started max roll, which he almost did. I was very scared at that time, but again, I won anyway. So yeah, like the Shadow Ball, Dragapult, clean late game. Again, they're showing us how good it is, in the late game or in the mid game to break stuff very easily if you're not careful with it. So yeah, that was my week 2 game. I'm not playing week 3, but I might play week 4. And if I do, I will just, of course, show a replay of that game as well. And apart from that, thank you for watching. See ya. Peace.